All right. Good evening, everybody. I hope that you had a wonderful day. The weather has been nice. Got a chance to get out for a little bit today and kind of move around in the sunshine and a little bit of wind. And then on my way home to this evening, I ran into some rain. Now, I don't mind a little rain because we need that. But boy, I sure hate it when it's raining and cold. I can do one or the other, but not both. So luckily, by the time I made it home, the rain had went away. So at least rest of the night, I hope it stays like that. Let's see. Now, I'm pretty sure by now y'all know who I am. I say this every show, but if you don't, I'm Wonder Lowe. I'm the host and the creator of the Ladies Lounge, and that's what you're watching right now. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching every week and keeping up with us every Tuesday night at 7. We hope that the information that we share helps you, helps somebody you know. Make sure that you always share the post or share the show. You can see us on Facebook at the Ladies Lounge Wonder Lowe or on YouTube at the Ladies Lounge Wonder Lowe. So make sure that you hit both of those subscription buttons, that you subscribe on YouTube, and that you like us on Facebook and follow us. Let's see. Housekeeping rules. Well, we won't have a whole lot of housekeeping tonight. Make sure that you're watching. Make sure, like I said, you share and that you like. And then make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So, every week we talk about we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and we still need to be social distancing, washing our hands, and I'm forgetting something. How I forgot it, I don't know. But washing our hands, social distance. Oh, wear your mask. I don't know why I forget that one. I wear a mask all day, every day. But make sure you wear your mask. And to be especially good with mine, I have one that says "Be kind" on it. And then it gets people's attention, and they go, "Oh, I need to get one like that." Sure, you do, because I don't understand why you don't have one already. But anyway, make sure that if you're going to be out around other people, you're going to be doing anything, that you put your mask on and you protect yourself, and not only you, but you're protecting other people too. So make sure we continue to do that. Hopefully this thing will get under control or go away. We just really hope that it just goes away, but we know that that's wishful thinking, and we got to still do our part to make sure that we keep ourselves and our family members safe and healthy. So social distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, wash your surfaces, be careful. If you are feeling sick, you have a fever, you have aches, pains, stuffy nose, any of those things, please stay at home. Amen. We don't want your cooties. And see, back in the day when it was just cooties, we were fine. This is super cooties. We don't want that. So make sure if you have any of those symptoms of COVID that you stay at home, that you social distance, that you quarantine yourself until you're better, and then seek the medical care that you need. Let's see what else. This month is Emotional Health Month, Emotional Health Awareness Month. I'm trying to say it is a mouthful. So, in the past, we've done shows about making sure that we get therapy, or that we find somebody to talk to if we're having issues. And I just want to emphasize that again. We have to normalize taking care of our minds. Now, I listen to Ricky Smiley's show every Tuesday on purpose, because he has this young lady who's a specialist, a special counselor, and Unetta Springs, that's her name. And I listen to it every Tuesday specifically to hear what little tips she's going to get. And I have to be honest with you, although I do have a regular therapist that I go to and I talk to, and no, I'm not ashamed to say that. I love to hear the tips that she gives. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of in a hurry this morning, so I heard them, but I didn't hear them. But I hope, I can go back and go online and find them. But just pay attention to how you're feeling. Don't get upset with yourself for being upset. Our emotions are part of us. And there are going to be times when they kind of get away from you. You might get a little bit more emotional than other times. It's certain times of the year. I can be absolutely honest with you. Like I told y'all last month, I just got emotionally overwhelmed because there are some dates that are going to come up here pretty soon that are going to be a little bit hard for me this year. So, do what you need to do to stay healthy, not just physically and not just because we're in a pandemic, but mentally. And understand that since we've been in a pandemic, more people have probably had more things arise. Anxiety has risen. Depression has risen. So make sure that you go and get that help that you need. Like I said, let's normalize this. I don't know what this thing is about us not wanting to seek help. We go to the doctor for everything else, but we will not go to the doctor for our emotional and our mental health. So make sure you do that. There is a post, and I'll try to share it later if I can, about free therapy. There are several interns that are offering free therapy this month. We're offering free therapy, mental health care for people. So make sure if you can take advantage of that, that you do. Now, what else? October is also breast cancer awareness month.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, I want you all to come back because we'll have a young lady on giving her testimony of surviving breast cancer and all that she went through chemo and everything else and the different symptoms and signs. And we'll also have somebody on from UMS Breast Care Mammal Van to kind of talk to you about getting tested and making sure that you do those things that help you prevent breast cancer or detect it early, because we know that early detection can help us to live longer lives. So make sure you tune in next week. But I will tell you this: the fair is coming to town. Y'all notice why why it started raining today, right? Why it got a little cool. Every year in Arkansas, when the state fair is on the way, it's gonna rain and it's gonna get cold. Now it's only gonna last for a couple of days, but it's gonna do it. So either way, on October 22nd, which is a Friday, from I think 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the mammal van will be at the Arkansas State Fair. They're going to have a couple of slots open for people to walk in and get a mammogram if they want. So if you're going to be at the fair that Friday, make sure you come by the Arkansas Cancer Coalition's tent and go, and they can take you over to the mammogram, to the mammal van, so you can get a mammogram if you want to. So just keep those things in mind. And there's another awareness month thing in October. Oh, domestic violence awareness. We definitely have to touch on that one. I've had several guests on before that have addressed that and talked about it. There are resources. I think I posted, hold on. I still got it wrote on my little notepad from the other week. If you are suffering, or if you are someone that's not safe, or you're in a situation where you're in a domestic violence situation, please call 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE. You can also visit the hotline.org for more domestic violence support. So make sure if you or someone you know is living in that situation and you want to get some help, that you visit that website or call that number. Now, I know somebody is going, why is she got on a crown and a sash? Why do I have on this crown and sash? Well, if you notice, the name of the show tonight is Queens of Beauty. And you have two queens in front of you. I was 2007 Mrs. Arkansas Plus America. Dr. Sabrina, what were you? I don't remember your state.
Now, you should know by the accent. My
Texas.
State. Okay.
So were you 2007 now?
Yes, ma'am. Did you forget? That's when we met.
Baby, I'm old. Oh. Yeah. Yes, so 2007, but you were Ms., right?
I was Ms. Texas 2000, Miss Plus Texas 2007, and Ms. Plus America 2007.
All right, so So you have queens. Now, I decided, since I had not had my crown on, I decided to put on my crown. So don't judge me. I have two of these. Now, honestly, and I answered a post earlier about this show, and I said I have two crowns. So I was homecoming queen in high school. Believe it or not, check this out. I still got my little I got my little tiara. This was my 1986 homecoming queen tiara. What's the thing called? Tiara? My little crown. It's smaller than my other crown. And then this was my 2007. So I decided tonight that I would put on my sash and I'd put on my crown and I'd do the show. So anyway, y'all, I kind of introduced you, but I want you to introduce yourself and tell everybody more about yourself. So tonight we're just doing a show and we're talking about beauty, and we're talking about the idea that the world has about beauty and what we see and what we think about beauty. And then we're going to both share our stories about what it meant for us to compete. And notice that we said Plus America. So we're going to tell our stories about what it meant for us to compete in the Plus America pageant, and then all those things that happened in between. So Miss Dr. Sabrina, please introduce yourself and just tell folks a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Dr. Sabrina Mathis. There's really not much to tell about me. I'm originally from Texas, born and raised, been here all my life. I'm not married, don't have any kids, but I'm not complaining. I am an educator. been in education now for 23 years.
Okay.
Met Wonder back in 2007 at the Plus America pageant, as a matter of
Hmm.
fact. So, I mean, that's about it. I'm, happy to support. I'm here, loving and living life.
There you go. There you go. Well, I tell you what. I don't know if you remember Deidre. I
I
cannot
do.
remember Deidre's maiden name.
Hannibal. No, she.
So no,
Deidre
no,
was
no.
married.
She's married now.
She
It's a Darren
competed.
now. It was
She
Deidre.
competed with me, right?
No, I think she was a couple. She was a year or so before us.
Oh, Deidre was. I know who you're talking about.
Remember, she's a. I can't remember what it is when she's been one. Oh my God, I cannot remember what her maiden
A
name is.
lifetime. She's a
Yeah,
lifetime queen,
she's
right?
Lifetime.
Yes, I know who you're talking about, but I cannot think of her name, so I
Hmm.
apologize.
It's Deidre Adair now, but I couldn't
Mhm.
think of what it was then. But
Okay.
either way, Deidre and I used to work at the bank together.
Okay.
And I was a manager. She was a customer service. She was a personal banker. And she was like the bubbliest, happiest person I ever met. And it was so much so that you'd have to stare at her sometimes and go, are you on something? I mean, she was just really bubbly. So she came bouncing in the office one day and she was like, Miss Wonder, you should be in the pageant. I'm sitting there like, sweetie, I am, I think at that time I was probably like 275, 280 pounds. I wore a size, I know for a fact I wore a 22, 24. And in my mind, I'm going, is she joking with me? What pageant can I be in? And I'm this. She was like, you never heard of Miss Plus America? I was like, Deidre, that's not a real thing. I thought she was joking with me. I was like, that's not a real thing. She was like, yeah, come on, I'll show you. So she pulled it up and we went online and looked at it or whatever. And she was like, I want you to think about it over the weekend, but I want you to compete. I went home and I literally did think about it that entire weekend because I'm going, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I'm pageant material. I don't think I can pull it off. So that Monday we got back to work, she was like, so what did you decide? I don't think I was the one that said something. A little voice inside me went, I do it. And as they say, the rest is history.
Okay.
Yeah, because she came over on the weekend and she helped me pick out my clothes. She helped me practice. She literally whipped me into shape, so to speak, in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, Deidre, this is a mistake. I shouldn't do it. I don't know. She was like, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. She was like, submit the paperwork. Do this. I mean, had me marching around doing stuff. And it happened. And when I got there, I wouldn't have changed anything for the world. I'm so glad that I did it. I enjoyed it. Now I was terrified, but I so enjoyed that. So what was your experience like getting to that point?
Well, I don't think mine was quite as adventurous as yours. Actually, during that time, I'm trying to figure out what was I thinking back then. Like, why did I compete in the pageant? I think, and it's weird because I was younger back then. Let's
Mhm.
see, that was 2007. I think I was 31 something. I don't know. I can't remember. Do the math. But
Mhm.
anyway, I was having one of those, oh, all of my friends are married and,
Oh
you
my
know, oh, the background music too.
God.
And, and, I was really just getting out there dating, and because I was one of those, what do they call it? Late bloomers.
Mhm.
And I was so into my books and my studies, and I was in my third year of being an assistant principal, and I had gained like probably about 45 pounds in 3 years. And I was just like having an issue with thinking that I wasn't pretty anymore. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they have pageants out there for plus size girls, because I was trying to psych myself in that, wait a minute, it's not about the weight, it's not about you're not pretty anymore. I think you just need a self-confidence booster. And so I started going online looking for, and I just actually came upon it. I came upon the Texas Plus pageant. And I was like, didn't cost that much. Let me give it a try. I didn't have an entourage. I didn't have a team, with me. It was just me, myself, and I. At the last minute, I think I scratched up some family, hey, come watch me. But I just did it. I am one of those. I will say this. I'm diagnosed and I accepted it. I'm okay with it. Adult ADHD, and one of our little habits is we are very impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just one of the things I was like, oh, I see it. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. And, like you said, the rest, as they say, is history.
Mm-hmm. Well, I so enjoyed it. And I guess in that moment, we really probably were thinking the same thing. Now, I know I'm older than you. So let's see. I don't remember how old I was in 2007, which was 14 years ago. So I was like, what, 39? Close to 40. Somewhere around about in there. I was old. Look, I was older. I was younger, older. But either way, it's just, I was thinking the same thing. I had come out, if I could show you a picture of me when I graduated high school, I was like this big. I had 4 kids, and all 4 of them were still attached to my body in some way or another. So I had sides. And when she said it, I honestly, now, you know what was so weird about it? I never looked at Deidre. It didn't register to me that she was plus size because she just was Deidre. Mm-hmm. I didn't see her that way. So when she said, I'm like, girl, quit playing. Have you? And I was in that same mindset of, oh my God, look at me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I've gained all this weight. I'm not in any kind of shape. I can't do this. I don't want people to see me all those things that whole weekend, those are the things that were running through my mind. And she was like, Miss Wonder, you can do it. And she just stayed on me until I was like, okay, if you think I can do it, let's try it. She said, well, what are you doing this Saturday? She came over and she put me through a 4-hour boot camp.
All right.
We went through, it took us about, I think, 3 hours. We picked our clothes. She was like, okay, here's what I want you to go and buy. She told me what kind of outfits to get. She really literally coached me through all of it. I've never done any of this stuff before in my life. And I am not a big time hair and makeup girl. So I was stressing over that. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to do my hair. I don't know how to do my makeup. What am I going to do about this? I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. And the only thing I could think was, this girl go get me down here and have me looking foolish as hell. Mm-hmm. But when we got there, I tell you what, meeting a lot of the ladies, meeting a whole of several folks, I was like, oh my God. And that gets you to, when I was thinking about what's the definition of beauty. We look at beauty and think, oh, if you're not a size 0 or you're a size 6, then you can't be beautiful. And I would have people that would say stuff to me and it hurt my feelings really. But you know how you just kind of let things kind of roll off? Mm-hmm. Well, you dress nice for a big girl. I was like, oh, damn. Okay.
All right.
Like, okay, you be like, thank you. I think, okay. I don't know. And I remember while we were talking one night, one of the young ladies said that somebody said to her face, you have a pretty face for a big girl. I'm like, what the hell what does that mean? And why would you ever say that to somebody? But that blew my mind. You have a pretty face for a big girl. Okay. That's right up there with you dress nice for a big girl. Also, what shocked me is that a size 12 was considered plus.
I wish I could be a size 12. Okay. So that was my goal size back in the day. I was like, oh, just let me get to a 12. So,
I hit it 2 times. Look, I hit it 2 times.
I think I hit it when I was 12. Okay.
Oh my God. So. No, when I was 12. No, I take it back. When I was 12, I got chunky at the age of, was it 10? I literally was a stick for years. When we hit 6th grade, I think it was 7th grade year. Some kind of way I managed to gain some weight. Don't know where, and I don't know how, because I never was a big eater. But in the 7th grade, I remember I was kind of chunky. And then when the summer came and we came back to 8th grade, I was back slim. But then I was also about 2 feet taller because I caught a growth spurt. So mine kind of stretched out a little bit. But
I don't think I was ever bone skinny, so I'm
really,
okay with. I think I've been pretty much, you know, we use the word big, we say fat, we say overweight. You
you
know,
just do
it is what it is at this point. I guess I'm old enough now to not care as long as
it.
I'm healthy, as
Hmm.
long as I can breathe, I can walk, my blood pressure not high. I'm not worried about anything. I mean, honestly, for real, for real. I'm not worried
Hmm.
about anything else. I ain't got time. I mean, I tell you what, I will start worrying when the person who's paying my student loans not paying anymore. And that's me. So I say that to say I got too much going on to be worried about what somebody else is thinking about me. A
Hmm.
long time ago, and I don't know who made. Maybe it was me. I can't remember. But if life is short. Life is short.
Exactly.
It's short, and every day we have people passing away, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't, expect this person to pass away or this to happen. It's just natural causes. They could be healthy people, but then
Hmm.
with life being short, that means time is precious. So
Hmm.
if you want to waste your time talking about me, positive or negative, you go right ahead because time is limited. I don't
Exactly.
care because while you're talking about me, I'm living my life. So
There you
you're
go.
wasting your time talking about me. And I see people that get online and they fat shame people and they fat shame celebrities. Ain't none of y'all paying my bills.
Hello.
None of y'all help me go to grad school to get that doctorate all
Hmm.
throughout school. So it gets to a point, it's like, why do we even care?
Hmm.
Why do we care? Oh, she's fat, he's big. Okay, and you stupid. I mean, just and I'm saying that because if you got time to talk about somebody else, let's go on ahead and bring it from the Bible. Let he who is without sin.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
let
That's the
he
first
who is
time.
perfect, let he who is perfect make the first comment. Crickets, because ain't
There you
nobody
go.
perfect. I mean, that's how I feel. But I do have to. I'm gonna get off the subject just a
No,
touch
you.
because you were talking about the pageant, and I have to ask you, Wonder, when you first met me, if you remember, because I'm gonna tell you what was going on in my head during the pageant time.
Hmm.
What was your first take on me?
I thought you were beautiful.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, tears? No.
I will be absolutely honest with you. Yes. Now, size aside, because
Hmm.
side that doesn't matter. I did not. I thought everybody was beautiful. It was
Hmm.
so amazing. And I'll be honest with you, I suffer from low self esteem.
Mm.
So walking into that room and seeing these women going, girl, yeah, I got to tuck this, pull this, and still just, I mean, working it.
Mm.
I'm like, I got to get some of that.
Mm.
I got to be more like that. And that was what to me. I think when I left, and Deidre will tell you, I cried probably about an hour.
Mm.
It wasn't sad tears. I was overwhelmed with, oh my God, I was in the room with these women and they were confident and they were strong and they didn't care what people thought. And I'm like, I have got to get that same mindset. But yeah, I thought you were beautiful.
Well, thank you. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to tell you, same thing was probably going through my mind. I mean, we're human. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's what we do. It's it's a natural thing for us, even though I just said who cares what other people think. It's
Mm-hmm.
just natural. It's natural for us to say, ooh, I hope this or I hope that or I hope they like me or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a human thing. Because when I first got there, I remember thinking to myself, you know what? I don't have any training. I haven't had any coaching. The clothes that I bought, I went online, went online and I just Googled a bunch of different plus size dresses. As a matter of fact, the dress that I wore to compete in the state pageant was sleeveless. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of women, plus size women out there who'll be like, ooh, I don't like my arms out. And I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you know what? I'm doing this pageant. That's something different. So guess what? I'm gonna wear my arms out too. It is what it is. Now I had a little shawl and all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
no training, no skills. I didn't have a makeup artist. The only thing that
Mm-hmm.
I really knew that I had on point was my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I don't like combing my own hair because I got a lot of it. So I had the bomb stylist, and she made sure to, hook me up before I left. And that was it. Once I got to the pageant, now for the national pageant where I met you, I did use the makeup artist that they had on hand. And by then I had some coaching and training because I had won the state pageant. And so the state pageant director, she coached me, she trained me, she, changed some things about my outfit, and I was on a budget. I think what really helped me to win the pageant is I sat down and I said, Sabrina, what are your greatest strengths? And I didn't even think beauty, and this is going to sound nerdy, but I was like, okay, you're smart.
That has been my go-to forever.
I was like, so you're smart. So how can you use that smartness to bring this thing home? Because you're already nervous. You're around all these people, beautiful, and they're like, and they getting out there and they walking like, bam, bam. I was like, and I'm knock-kneed.
Okay. It's so funny. Me too.
I was like, how am I supposed to? And I'm knock-kneed, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
You bet as I was worried about walking straight. I couldn't walk straight. Yeah. And I'm like, they're gonna be like, what is wrong with her?
That's right.
So yes, I get that one.
Don't feel bad, okay?
No, I don't. It's funny that you said the same thing.
Because it's the truth.
I swear I was worried about walking straight.
I didn't even, what's so funny about that is I stopped worrying about that too. I was like, just don't fall off the stage. Okay?
There you go.
Because see, even in the national pageant, I went back and I watched the video because I felt it when it happened. I slipped a little bit when I was on stage doing the formal sportswear. But I was like, nobody saw it. Play it off. Pretend like it was a flare you did on purpose. Whip that head and keep on going.
There you go.
And then, you turn so slightly that the audience doesn't see your face. I mean, it's only for about a half of a second. Girl, when I made that turn, I was like, oh my God. And went back to that smile, So I said all of that to say, well, Sabrina, if you're smart, then use your brain. So what I did was I psyched myself out. I said, you got this. You got this. If it's one thing you know people. So what I did was I studied the judges.
Okay.
And I studied their backgrounds. I studied their knowledge of pageantry. I didn't care about the people I was competing against because as far as I was concerned, I was competing against me. I was trying to get my head straight. And I was like, Sabrina, you got this. Now all you got to do is bring it home. So some people, and I say some people, but I'm going to say myself. I would say now, looking back at myself, man, Sabrina, you were a little bit big-headed. And it wasn't that I was big-headed. I had psyched myself out. You got this, Yes, you go in there, you win it, you do it, that's it. So, oh yeah, she is beautiful, but she ain't me. So, and don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm any better than any other woman out there. But when you said low self-esteem, I was like, that was me at one time too. But it's almost like fake it till you make it. I think at one point in time, we all kind of suffer a little bit of low self. Sometimes even I still get down. Like I'm talking now and I'm like, all I can see is that right eye because that's my lazy eye. And so when I open my eyes, I only see one that opens up pretty big. And I'm like, why that thing open up so wide? It is what it is. It doesn't matter at this point. Who cares? So that's why I was like, you know what, Sabrina? Yeah, one of your eyes is lazy.
Oh my God. That is too funny.
So back to the pageant. You know what? You knock-kneed, Sabrina. Move on. Make it look good. So I had to turn at an angle and walk so they couldn't see.
Oh my God. That is too funny.
I said all of that to say, when it comes to beauty, I really just think they say in the eye of the beholder. I think it's I think beauty is truly, how the holder of beauty sees anything. And what I mean by that is it's not what you see in me, it's what I see in myself.
Exactly.
So
I agree with that. And I think so many times people will tell you you're beautiful You can, and I know women that hear it all the time, and they have low self-esteem still because they don't think they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think now this is a weird statement. I'm pretty now, but I think when I was younger, I was way prettier. And then I started going, well, now you kind of already look the same. I still think I've never thought of myself as beautiful. I've always thought of myself as pretty or cute. And not just like, oh, I'm just so cute, not that way. And not, oh my God, I am so pretty. I'm just pretty or cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had somebody to tell me I was beautiful before, and I looked at them like, quit lying. Because it threw me. I'm like, no. But that's what they saw. So then I had to start going, okay, now, what did they see that I don't see in me? I'm like you. My biggest thing has always been, if nothing else, my knock knees and big eyes and everything else, I'm smart. If I'm nothing else, you will not outsmart me. I'm smart.
Exactly.
I'll take that any day. Yes, my knees may knock. I got some chunky parts, but I'm smart. So that's the thing I've always held on to, was that the fact that I knew I was always smart. So I didn't worry about being beautiful, so to speak. I didn't worry. Like I told you, hair and makeup and all that. I just in the last couple of years started wearing makeup because I'm going, okay, now you're too old now to be out the house without some on. Because I just wouldn't wear it. I'm like, so you mean to tell me I got to get up 10 minutes early to put my face on? I'd rather sleep them 10 minutes. Now, I can get my hair done sometimes, or I'm going to pull it up in the bun or back in the, because people for the longest didn't even know I had hair. I wore a pullback, and you can ask anybody, I wore a pullback in a ponytail almost every single day because I hated combing my hair. I have extremely thick hair, and at that time, it was really long. And I'm like, it's going in the ponytail. I ain't gonna comb this. If y'all worried about it, you come over here more and comb it for me because that never was a thing for me. And I have friends, I have family members will not leave the house without their hair done and they makeup fully. I'm like, no, I'm going to Walmart.
See, that's another thing. Like you said, I'm a big girl. It'd be hot outside, and I'm trying to walk out there with a full face of makeup. I'm steady wiping it off. Not today. Not today. Now, some of my friends, they'll tell you back in the day, and I do it sometimes. When I go to work, I call it my Zen time. I get there early. Sometimes I get there early. And, I take like 15 minutes, close the door, and I put my makeup on. And that's just like focusing, getting my head ready for the day. Because, I work with kids.
You got to.
And I'm not talking about people under the age of 18. But anyway.
Get you.
You get me?
I got you.
But anyway, it just all depends. Because, like, some days I just don't feel like putting it on. Even today, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I just got home. I was like, oh Lord, I left my makeup bag at work. I said, what am I going to do? So I ran to my little stash. I was like, oh, I don't have no brushes. So I'm in the mirror talking about, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm in the mirror trying to rub it on with tissue, and because I found some little, samples from here and there, and then I was like, you know what, forget it, because then I even have like this little burn scar, and I was like, no, I don't want it's me. Guess what? You're gonna see it. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna say, that lady that Wonder talked to last night with the burn mark on her face.
Exactly. Nobody's going to. Look at my face. What do you see right here on my? What do you see?
I mean, my camera ain't all that good, so. A mole.
You noticed it.
Okay.
You know how long that mole has been there? 40-something years.
See.
Excuse me. And most people that know me have never noticed it.
I didn't notice it either.
It's been there for 40-something years. I think when I graduated, it's been there since I was a senior in high school, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been there forever. And most people that know me have never noticed that mole. I'm like, How have you looked at my face this many years and you didn't notice I had a mole right there?
Because they were looking at you, the
I guess
person,
so.
not the mole. And that's what we got to get out of when it comes to beauty. We're like, oh my gosh, they're looking at this, they're looking at that. My thing is, if they are looking at that, it's something wrong with them.
Yes. You way too nosy, because if you noticing the weirdest little stuff, you just a little too nosy.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to back up if you notice all of that.
You're a little too close now. Exactly. But I'm gonna tell you something you said about the sleeveless clothes. I had a car accident in matter of fact, I can tell you, December 18, 1989 at 3:15 in the afternoon. I flipped a Ford Ranger truck 3 times.
Ooh,
on some ice. Ooh. And my arm went through the driver's window. So when the truck was flipping over on my left arm.
Oh, wow.
So most people have never noticed that one of my arms is way bigger than the other one. Oh, and it's because of the scar tissue in this arm. So I don't do sleeveless. So when I was looking for pageant dresses, same thing. I was struggling with, okay, I need to find something with at least 3/4 sleeves in because I'm not going sleeveless. I call it my fat arm. I'm not having my fat arm out. And my husband was like, girl, just pick a dress. It's okay. But I'm really self-conscious about it. So I'm like, no, it's gonna look weird. They're like, why is one of our arms bigger than the other? Well, somebody gonna notice it. Nobody noticed it.
I didn't even know till you just told me.
You'll be amazed. There's people around me every day have never noticed one of my arms is bigger. Now I know it, and it's weird to me in the back of my mind. But nobody ever. Most people, unless I say something or they touch it. Because it's squishy. My grandson plays with my arm all the time. It's squishy. And unless somebody touches it, they never notice that I have one arm bigger than the other one.
But Wonder, I gotta say this. So if they did notice.
You know what? It took me a long time to get to that point.
Okay.
It took me a long time because I don't know if I thought people were going to judge. I don't know what I thought. But I was just nervous. Oh, my God, I don't want anybody to see my arm. So I always wore it covered. And then when I did the pageant, and I had a little shawl, my little dress came with a little shawl.
I remember your dress was brown.
No, I had a black dress.
Black. It was.
And I cannot remember her name. She came in. She said, "Girl, when you came out in that black dress, I was like, oh, that was not a good choice." She said, "You killed that black dress." I was like, I liked the way it was cut, and plus I'm top heavy, so it fit.
But I'm all heavy, okay.
Yeah, I was at that time. I was extremely top heavy, and it was hard to find stuff that fitted that didn't look. I ain't want to look witchish.
You didn't want to look like an ice cream cone, just all out.
Exactly. I ain't want no bubble over. I wanted things to be contained. But she was like, she said, but when I saw you in the dress, she said, it looks so pretty. You look so nice. I was like, well, thank you then. But I had my little shawl on because I wasn't coming out without that shawl. And I'm be honest with you, I was in the dressing room. I put it on, I take it off. I put it on, I take it off. Deidre came in there and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Deidre, I ain't going out without this shawl." She was like, "Wonder, put the shawl on, take the shawl off. It doesn't matter. The dress is beautiful. You look nice. Okay. Just go.
Just get out there."
I was like, okay, shawl on. I was nervous. I could not. My shawl was my safety cape. I felt safer in the shawl, so I put it on. But it was so funny. She was like, "Put it on, pull it off. It doesn't matter. You look good either way." I was like, I think I'll just take it anyway for safety. I feel better with it on.
But do you see what that's why I said it's self. We worried about, like you said, you worried about a shawl. I'm worried about my knock knees. I'm like, man, my knee louder than the police at 2 a.m. I was like, oh Lord, man, my knee, I can't do it. And then, when you have knock knees, you don't really stand straight up and down. Nope. So when people are looking at you, and the bottom is doing, I hope they don't look at, I got to make sure the dress is long enough that they don't see,
That's why I picked a dress that flared. I found the most beautiful dresses, but they were the mermaid fit. I'm like, I got some bumps and rolls and stuff. No, let me find something that flares so you can't see my legs.
Let me tell you about a mermaid dress. So When I gave up my crown the next year, when we crowned our successor, I
Mm-hmm.
borrowed a dress from a friend of a friend, and it was a beautiful forest green sequin mermaid dress.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the photos, and I was like, "Oh, they're so beautiful." But when I was on stage walking, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how to walk in that thing, so I kept stepping on the dress. All I
Uh-huh.
heard was crunch,
Oh
crunch,
my God.
crunch, and the whole time I was like, you know. But everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, that dress is so beautiful." No one could. That's why I say, you see the things we worry about, the
That
crazy,
nobody else knows we're worrying about.
or cares
We
about,
don't care.
because
Exactly.
that was way back in what, 2007 when we competed,
Yep.
2008 when I gave up the crown. Don't nobody remember that stuff. Don't nobody care.
Nope.
So now again, I'm human, and if I see something that catches my eye that don't look right, yeah, I might make a comment about it, like, those shorts are a little short. But I'm not gonna hold on. My thing
Nope.
is, I'm not talking about, yeah, I am. I'm talking about the person, but I'm not judging them on who they are because of it.
Exactly.
Because I didn't have my moments too. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
walk out there thinking that I was hot to trot,
Mm-hmm.
and probably was not, but I didn't care.
Exactly.
So it is what it
I
is.
think we have all had some fashion do nots,
Mm-hmm.
and we've all committed fashion crimes.
Hmm.
We've all committed hair crimes, makeup
Mm-hmm.
crimes. We've all committed all those things. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so I like what you said in the beginning about who cares. And I'm trying to think who was I was talking to somebody. It's probably been about a week or two ago, and we were talking about, at our age, losing weight, being healthy, doing some different stuff. And of course, we should do all that stuff. And yeah, it sounds good. But she was like, you know what? I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm comfortable with me.
Hmm.
And I'm happy
Amen.
with who I am. So if I want to eat something, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to walk when I need to walk. I'm going to do what I need to do. But I'm not going to deprive myself.
Amen.
And I went, girl,
Hmm.
that's it. Now I have some health issues, so it's some things I have to do a little bit differently. But when she said that, it's sort of like it was in her moment, it freed her, but it also kind of freed me too,
Mm.
because you get locked into this mindset of I have to look a certain way. Oh my God, I'm getting too big. I need to lose weight. Oh, these clothes don't fit. Well, they got more clothes, and they do
Okay.
have them in different sizes. So go get some
Go
more.
get some more.
I have. I don't know what now. This is probably TMI. I have 3 sets of underwear.
Mm-hmm.
I have my I lost weight draws. I have my I'm in between losing weight draws, and I got my I gain weight draws.
Hmm.
So I'm never uncomfortable.
Okay.
I put on what I got to put on when I got to put it on. Then when I lose the weight, I go back and get my lost weight draws. But I'm never uncomfortable. And I have clothes in my closet like that. I have my, okay, I gained some weight clothes. Okay, I'm in the process of losing weight clothes, and I lost the weight clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And I wear what I need to wear when I need to wear.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm joking? I'm just never uncomfortable.
There you go.
And I don't dress. And I think about this so funny. I've never been, I guess, the stylish. I don't know. I don't like name brand stuff. Is not just exciting to me.
Right.
I like what I like when I like it. If it's the right color and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like hey, I like it.
I
I
mean,
don't.
does it fit? That's all I care.
Yes,
Hmm.
long as it fit his arm and
Hmm.
his chest, I'm good. Cause I don't like tight stuff.
Girl, I'm like, as long as it fit, it ain't got no visible holes.
There you go.
So, I do. Hey, sometimes it get rough out there. I like the shirt, but it got a hole under the arm. Nobody can see it. Just make sure I don't wave.
There
But
you
anyway,
go.
I
No,
mean, it is. I mean, and I got a ton of clothes. And that's another thing.
mm-hmm.
Name brand. They be like, oh, I like it because it's this or it's that. Yeah, but how much did you pay for? And you got rent to pay.
Exactly.
I've seen people who walk with a car note on their arm. minute, you how much did you pay for that purse? And you live in an apartment? Well, I can't judge because that's them. If that's what they want to do, hey, it is what it is. I mean, that we as a people, we as just a human race, we've got to get out of. I mean, and like you said, talking. I know I'm getting off the subject again, but when we talk about stuff that's happening in the world and bullying and all of that good stuff, a lot of the bullying stems from what people say about another person. Period. It may be about looks, it may be about what they have or what they don't have. But again, I'm gonna say, let he who is perfect, throw the first stone. There isn't anyone who is perfect. Now, I'm gonna tell you about myself. I grew up heavily bullied. I mean, probably one of the worst situations out there. So I would have thought. But I didn't realize that I was very blessed growing up. Had both mom and dad in the home, had loving siblings. And it was 4 kids and my mom and dad. And nope, we didn't always have name brand stuff, but we had everything we needed and a lot of what we wanted. Our parents made sure we got what we needed. They gave us some of what we wanted. We had those wish lists because they believed in working hard for what you get. And so they taught us, if you want something, work hard for it, you can go get it. You can earn it. So could they have bought us name brand stuff? They could have, but for what? Because one pair of shoes that may have cost, I don't know, $150, when you can go get 3 pairs of shoes for that same cost.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make sense. I'm a realist. And my thinking, and I'm always thinking logically. Like I told you earlier, I'm smart. So even if I think I'm not beautiful, and this is way back then, how can I use my smarts to pull this out? But then I stopped thinking like that, and I said, you know what, Sabrina, God has blessed you with some gifts. Go use those gifts. Don't worry about what other people say, what they do. And there's one thing. And I do want to share this, with anybody who's listening or watching. Never, ever forget. No one can make you feel a certain way. What does that mean? You choose what feeling you want to have. Now, somebody could say something negative about you. You are the one who chooses if you want to let it hurt you or not. So every day, God is so good. Every day I choose joy. I choose joy. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. People are not always nice. I'm on the road. I'm one of those road rage people sometimes, but I got to choose joy. Oh, you just cut me off. We got to choose joy. You know what? Maybe there's something going on over there I don't know about that he really needs to get to.
Maybe that was a good thing that you got cut off.
Maybe. We got to teach our kids. We got to teach even some of the adults. We got to teach them. Yeah, they're not being nice to you. Yeah, they're talking about you. You continue to do the right thing. You choose joy. You do the right thing. If you have to go report it to somebody or whatever, and I'm saying this to children, do what you have to do. But you do the right thing. I guarantee you in the end. And I'll give you an example. Yeah, they talked about me when I was a kid. Yeah, they made fun of me. Yeah, they bullied me. But what do you see in front of my name right there, right now?
Kitty girl.
Doctor.
You are doctor.
And where are those people now? Crickets. I'm just saying.
That's it. The best revenge is to be successful, to do and rise above whatever it is that somebody tried to keep you from.
Amen.
So I get that. I get that totally. That is awesome. That get my crown slip. That is awesome.
Fix your crown.
Fix the crown.
Fix your crown.
I felt the sliding a little bit. But that is perfect. That's like the best advice I guess you can give anybody, like you said, even adults, because something weird I've seen as an adult is, why are you 30, 40 something years old, you still bullying folk? What is wrong with you? But I've seen it. I know grown 50-something-year-old bullies. And I'm like, wait a minute. So something that you find out once you start talking to folks also is that people that old that are still bullies were bullied themselves as kids.
Mm-hmm.
So their revenge is to now still bully people even as an adult. And I'm going, now people don't take kindly, and you gonna get hurt.
Right.
But I've seen older people, grown people, still that bully people because you never got over the hurt and the pain that you suffered as a kid. Or sometimes actually they were bullies as kids and they just still bullies.
Mm-hmm.
Which
it's all about how they were taught.
Mm-hmm.
It's values. And when I say taught, it may not have been from parents. Sometimes it's what they've been exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if I raise a child and I teach them that hot is cold and cold is hot, that's all they're going to know growing up. So if they touch fire, ooh, it's cold, because that's what I've taught them. Mm-hmm. That's what I put in their minds. And I haven't introduced anything to them different. Mm-hmm. So same thing when you meet adult bullies. Whatever experiences or things that they're used to or they've been taught or they've been introduced to, that's what they know. There are some people who will take on bullying behaviors because they believe that's how you get ahead in life. They believe that's how you keep control.
Yes.
But until they experience something new, I believe in, looking at different perspectives, until they have an opportunity to see that, you can have joy without being a bully.
Yep.
They're always going to be that way.
Yeah. Well, it's just you hope that, going back to what we said originally, but you hope that this much during emotional awareness, that they get in touch with those emotions.
Amen.
And they get in touch with their mental health side of it. And they start, and that's the thing, is that we start digging into what causes us to be or act the way that we are or we act. Mm-hmm. Everything has a root cause. And a lot of times we've gone so many years with that pain or gone so many years with that trauma that instead of breaking it into pieces and getting rid of it, we're building layers. Yep. So by the time you hit 50, you are bitter, you got hate. I mean, you just all messed up. But it stemmed from something that happened to you when you were 10. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I was bullied in school also. But I don't think, even when it was happening to me back then, I don't know if I took it as bullying. Well, I guess you know what? I never used the word bully. I used the word teased. I was teased a lot. And it bothered me to a certain extent. And then I got to a place where I didn't care anymore. I was like, you know what? People don't talk about you either way it go, whether you're doing good, bad, or otherwise. Oh, well, at least they're talking about it. I'd go about my business. So after so long, it didn't even affect me anymore. I remember, as a teenager, you're already emotional and hormones going crazy and all this other stuff. And I can remember crying a couple of times and being upset. And then going back to school and the next couple of days being like, so what? You're going to do me, do what? You just going back. So I think that's probably why now I don't have issues with that. I can be friends with those folks. I can still talk to everybody. I can still get along with folks and not feel anything behind it, because one thing I do know is kids can be very cruel, and they're very honest. I got 6 grandkids, and trust and believe, they honest.
Okay.
They will tell you what they think. And you go, okay, baby, let me teach you how to say what you think, but just a little nicer than what you just said. Because I don't ever want them to be accused of being bullies or being people that put down somebody else. So I'm very adamant with them, when we have them on the weekend, that we sit down and we talk, and I teach them about, you can say stuff to folks, but it's the way that you say it.
Amen.
Don't purposely try to hurt somebody's feelings, or don't purposely be rude to them or be, cruel or whatever. So they're young. They're between the ages of 3 and 10. And a 3-year-old, kind of cutthroat. The 3 and the 5.
Okay.
It's 2 girls and the other 4 boys. The 3 and the 5.
Yeah, tell it.
Oh my God, they cutthroat.
I had my niece and nephews this past weekend when you were talking about the state fair. I took them to the state fair on Monday because we had, the day off.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister allowed me to borrow their little wagon so I could put the two youngest. So now, mind you, I don't have any kids, not married. I had a
Mm-hmm.
4-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Oh my God.
And I took them to the state fair.
Uh-huh.
And so it was just Aunt Brina and them. And I'm pulling the two boys because the 7-year-old, she grown. She want to walk on her
Uh-huh.
own. And I'm pulling the two boys. And I was like, whew, y'all need to get out and pull Aunt Brina. The 4-year-old gonna talk about, you too heavy.
See?
I'm too heavy.
Look,
And I mean, it didn't bother me. I just thought it was funny. I said, Aunt Brina's too heavy? He said, yeah. You see how your back hurt pulling us?
oh my God. See? They ain't no joke.
And they're kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, the one thing about kids, and especially them telling the truth, I'm referring to the Bible again. There's a saying, when I was a child, I spoke as a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know that verse, and then it said, and when I became a man, I put away my childish ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what kids do.
Yeah.
Now bullying is not right, but like you said, you teach them, you mold them, because just like a seed, it's hard when you plant it. It has to break through all that dirt and that grime. You got to water it. You got to feed it. You got to let the sun hit it. And I mean, eventually it grows into something beautiful.
Yep.
And while it's growing, birds are going to peck at it. Worms are going to try to chew at it. It's going to have storm and lightning. It might even bend a little.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you put a strong foundation in it, it's going to grow into something beautiful.
Exactly.
It's all about what we pour into our children.
Amen. Amen. Well, Ladybug, it is 7:56. We got about 3 more minutes. So, in your profound educator voice and mind, inspire the people to be great.
Inspire the people to be great?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You only have one life to live. You get to choose how you live it. Do you choose to waste it, worrying about what others think? Or do you choose to use the blessings that God has bestowed upon you to be great? Go be great.
That was it. I love it. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on tonight. The other 2 ladies had some things going on and they couldn't make it. But I'm so glad that you did. It is great to see you. So proud of you. Looking good. Still beautiful. Knock knees and all, sister. We're going to work these knock knees. Don't let nobody tell you cute girls don't have knock knees. That's a lie.
Okay.
Cute girls got knock knees, man. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. If you'll stick around for just a second, I want to take a picture of us real quick before you get off. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. We will be back next Tuesday, 7 o'clock, same time. And we'll be talking about breast cancer awareness. And we'll have a survivor on talking about her experience. And also a young lady from UMS Memo Van. So make sure you tune back in so you can get that information, share it with anybody. And anybody and everybody, to put it like that. Because we all have breasts, y'all. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but we all got breasts. So we want to make sure that the women and the men get some information. So make sure that you come back next Tuesday at 7 o'clock here in the Ladies Lounge with Wonder Lowe. I am your host, and I will see you then. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.